Yep.
And the recording is going. Quick, somebody say something controversial.
Hi, pigs.
Joe Biden is
I
cute.
really
Feed your
hate
kids meat and your dogs vaccines.
that.
Wait,
I work in a
feed them
news station.
vaccines, you say?
Yeah, you shouldn't feed people vaccines. You should give them vaccines, but you shouldn't feed them. All right.
I heard feeding dogs vaccines.
Johnny,
What?
it's time to come down for your polio vaccine soup.
Last time on the World of Titan, Ruz, the Gorgon fighter, Kettle, the Tabaxi druid, Dustu, the Tortle bard, and Aroma, the kobold monk, returned to Blackreach after having stolen an important relic from one cult and narrowly escaped from another. With a threat for Marshal Blackdrake echoing in their minds, an extremely unwell companion, the party decided it would be best to check in with the mother of their missing companion, Martha Evie, who was both a healer and likely target of Blackdrake's cult. Let me turn this down a little bit. I need to remember not to actually turn that up. Upon arriving at Miss Evie's home, the group found her having tea with Kettle's one-time mentor and mildly annoyed uncle, Elton Summerbraid. Seeing the group had pressing business with Miss Evie, Elton stepped out while the group assisted Mama Evie as she went to work stabilizing and curing the sickly drow woman Dreul was carrying. As it turned out, the young woman was infected with vampirism and left with two choices: embrace the infection or die from it. Realizing vampirism is likely more curable than death, Mama Evie donated some of her own blood, giving the drow woman the power to embrace the vampiric power and fight off her other infections. With the patient now stabilized and with a chance to count the heads around her, Martha realized her son was not among them. Asking the group why her son was missing, she learned that Durlin is missing and likely dead. She sends the party out to allow her some space to think. As they leave, Elton tells them to come out and meet them in the swamp when they're ready. Sorry, this is a long recap. The party then went on to wrap up the necessary business with the Holden and Black Eye families. Ruz also sought out the Azamar shopkeep to try to gather information to help locate her missing sister, or their missing sister. They learned of a human smuggler who often helps people out of out of the Blackheart Coalition, who may be related to their paladin friend Cassius Vol. With that useful information in hand, the party held a makeshift funeral for their missing companion before heading out to the swamp to meet Elton. After Elton briefly kidnapped Kettle while in bird form, the party was brought to an area where they seemed to have been where Elton seemed to have slain some of Marshall's men. Elton explained that he had caught these individuals hunting Miss Evie and swooped in to deal with the threat, and then stuck around to make sure she was safe. The party interrogated one of the surviving cultists. The cultist passed along one last insult from Marshall, along with a bottle of wine from Bloodstone, before being gruesomely killed by Elton. The party then officially asked Aroma to join their team, as well as be a needed voice of reason, before being transported via tree to Flowers Wreath so that Aroma could finish her quest by returning the missing relic to a temple there. An old woman tending to the temple there was overjoyed to see the young worshipper of Rayleigh and allowed Aroma to keep the obsidian eye. And that is where we left off. A lot happened last session.
Yeah. By the way,
That eye's really nice, by the way.
I used her for Aroma.
Oh, apologies. They.
No problem. Yep.
Let me. Let's go.
Yeah, I need to attune to it now.
Yeah.
Hi, Dan.
But for now, for the sake of expediency, you guys can easily get a train home. Most of you actually have the ride free. Aroma is going to have to get a ticket.
Oh yeah, because we already bought the round trip ticket.
Well, your ticket was paid for by the state because you were specifically working for Harkin.
Gotcha.
So
We work for the man, bro.
from Flowers Wreath, let's see, 12. What's that? 16, 28, 38, plus that 28. I mean, I need a calculator for this. There we go.
The good news about being a legal drug dealer is my math skills are finally getting better.
That's good. It'll be 86 gold for a ticket along the fast track back to the capital. So you
Okay.
can mark that off.
Oof.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
I can afford it.
So
I'm glad you could, because I was like, I'm willing to put some money, and then I look at my 6 gold pieces.
oh yeah, Rose
No,
broke.
You have like the least amount of gold because you keep buying kettle things.
Which is why
You're
Kettle
not
has
wrong.
the second most amount of
Honestly-
gold.
Aroma's
Exactly.
money pouch is probably as big as their head right now, or at least one of their ears, and they probably need to give some to y'all, just because how can you make jumps with a giant clinging
I
bag?
am actually, I believe I am the most broke in the. Oh wait,
Nope,
no,
Rose.
I have platinum. I have
Yeah.
platinum.
You have like 500.
Oh,
gold-
I forgot I had platinum.
50 platinum.
Yeah.
Rose still only has 5 platinum because you gave a lot of it up last session.
Yep.
So you're not too well off, but the train ride is lengthy, but easy enough. Is there anything any of you want to do on the train? Anything
Tune.
you want to discuss? You can easily attune on the train. I believe I gave
Kettle
you
will
access.
cat now.
Can
Yeah.
I?
Is that-
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Can just do attempt to attune with that amethyst ring?
That you haven't. You don't know what it is yet?
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is.
You
so-
have not.
Maybe don't just attune to whatever you find.
Attuning to it would reveal what it does to you if you did that, but you'd also be stuck with whatever attunement-based curse could come with it.
As you're looking at it, Rose is going to look at you and say, remember that ring that Dylan put on that one drow?
Yeah, but that's right.
Don't.
That ring was different.
Yes, that ring was different. That ring is that you also didn't know what that ring did until it was put on said drow.
But I'm already wearing the ring.
Actually, Aroma is going to, while you're having this conversation, hand you guys 100 gold each.
Oh.
We don't need this, and you guys helped.
Russ is looking at the 100 gold
Well, thank you.
with wide eyes.
Kettle is already passed out in the sunlight,
Or
so
Aroma
she's
is-
completely unaware.
Wait.
Aroma then is going to try balancing the coins on your head.
Is
That's gonna give her a headache.
in the sunlight. Does that mean you're on top of the train?
Yes.
No, there's windows on the
No,
train.
it means I probably found a sunny spot. Because, cat.
But it's constantly moving.
Cat powers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there'd
but
be
it's-
sun for a good amount. Although, to be fair, this would probably be midway through the trip you'd be able to find a sunspot because you were just weaving Flower's Wreath, which is rain clock all the time.
Fair point. Either way, she's asleep. And probably
Sleeping
adorable.
now.
Always
Sleeping now with a bag of gold coins at least nearby.
Oh no, they're stacked on their head, on her head.
Honestly,
Or, like,
Kettle probably
100.
would have smacked it away and maybe
How heavy is 100 gold pieces, by the way?
really fucking heavy.
Yeah, it'd probably
it's
be
not-
like
it's not
like a couple on the head, some on the paw, some on the shoulders.
You have
Oh,
Oh, you don't
You
have
could
the just
get-
the
Have these
bag.
gold on top of her.
You have all of the gold coins.
Part of the thing is that Aroma does not have a bag of gold as big as them.
That is fair.
They're
It's-
not
yeah,
very
that's
big.
true.
So now we're
Rose
playing
is
called Stack the Gold on Kettle. See how many pieces
Rose
you
is
can
watching
get in a
the
row.
stacking.
Dustu is gonna play a diddle on his bagpipes like he does.
So does Dustu actually attune to the ring during this time?
I think he's gonna take what Ruz said to heart and be like, all right, fine, I'll wait.
Okay. So you have that ring and that cloak that you've not had identified yet. Just to remind you.
I'm probably just gonna get him identified at the cap.
Yeah. Yo, this eye is dope.
Yeah, it's a. It is rare enough that it would be considered a relic item.
As someone who used it, it's very awesome.
Yeah.
Come on, we should get to the capital so we can have Quentin.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Guys,
dead
Let's
enemy.
have adventures.
But first, performance check. Yes.
For perhaps the first time ever.
Second
time ever, the bard actually plays a pleasant tune.
Well,
Well-
what is this? I like your other stuff better. We like your other stuff better.
What are you talking about? This was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's my finest work yet, if I do say so myself. I'm gonna write this down. And Dusty just scribbles it down.
Can I do a dexterity check to see how well I stack the coins?
Sure. Make it a sleight of hand,
Sleight of hand.
in case you have proficiency with that.
I do not.
Oh no.
I can't see it. The thing's. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
We're on a moving vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, so
Wow.
the train isn't like a normal. It's kind of like it's almost like a magnet train, where it has crystals where the wheels would be that kind of lift it up and propel it forward. So it is a pretty smooth ride, but every now and again you get a kind of battering of wind that kind of shifts it a little bit, and just as you're getting that last coin, you're showered in gold pieces.
Does Kettle wake up from this?
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Let's see how heavy a sleeper Kettle is.
Oh, this monitor doesn't have a webcam. Good to know.
Well then.
Yeah, stir a little bit, but you're conscious, but you're not like shook and awake suddenly.
It's that moment where you suddenly come to realization that someone might be messing with you or doodling on your face or something. But you're like, I want to go back to sleep.
It's
Sleep's
like that
more
moment
important
when you
than
pet
anything else.
a cat and the cat's activation noise happens.
Kettle makes a disgruntled cat noise and turns over. Goes back to sleep.
More gold coins get like shift and fall.
How much gold are we going to end up losing on this train just because
Yeah.
it's going to go everywhere?
Roll a perception check. Aroma, roll a perception check.
Can we all roll perception?
Sure.
I was just gonna assist Aroma, but okay.
Kettle's asleep, so she can't do it.
Kettle doesn't get a perception here. You lose a gold piece, but you keep
Alright,
most of it.
so Kettle gets 99.
Okay, that's fine.
But lengthy train ride aside, with most of you probably getting a little bit of rest. You could count this as a short rest if you need to. Technically, it's lengthy enough that you could squeeze in a long rest, but it's not comfortable enough that you could. And you arrived to the capital thanks to the early start you guys did because you were leaving like right at the break of dawn, basically. And also the slight time difference geographically. You're arriving at the capital about mid to late afternoon. Or mid to late morning, so probably around like 11 or 12-ish. Has Aroma been to the capital before?
I don't think so.
Okay. So Aroma, this is your first time traveling this far. Has the train is kind of rounding one of the kind of hill bends, and you can actually now see the capital for the first time. It's a very interesting laid out city. There are three major sections. Furthest towards the water, there is very clearly like a dark yard and kind of loose, kind of sprung up market area with a couple of houses here and there. Further out from that, there is a series of what kind of look like just taverns, but you would know has the different guild halls. And then further back from that, the furthest back, there's a lot of empty space, but primarily very large and towering buildings. Some even getting close to being equivalent to skyscrapers, very early skyscrapers. But as you look out into the water, you can see Storm Giant Isle very far out, just on the horizon from where you can see. But between that and the bay between those areas, there is a sizable all-white island. Island of just white stone. With a large stone spire of gray stone that sticks out right through the top of it.
What's that? Rose! What's that?
Someone remind me what the spire is. Sorry.
That island and spire is the skull of the felled Storm Titan about 10 years back.
Rose glances over at the and just says, "Oh, that's the skull of the Storm Titan."
It's
We should go there.
small for an island, but very large for a skull. In terms of just general like area
Ratios?
space, it's probably about 20 feet, 20 to 30 feet radius. So very big for a skull, small for an island, but still visible because of the spire of stone that skewers through it.
Oh, that's so cool.
You should have seen them take. You should have seen those guys take them down. It was great.
Oh, my gang leader, Thornwood. We think we were there, but we think he was there. He said a lot of stories about that, but he also kind of makes up a lot of stories, so we're not completely sure. But it sounded like he was there, and he said it was really cool.
Who's your gang leader?
Thornwood.
Does that name sound familiar at all?
It probably wouldn't. Roll a history check.
Nope. I don't think I make it.
Nah, not really.
You'd like them. They're really cool.
Oh. Rose kind of just stares at Aroma as if waiting for something a little bit more substantial to go off of.
Well, they've already lost that track of thought. They're like a little kid standing up on the seat, looking out the window, tail wagging at all the sights.
I need this open real quick. Actually, interestingly, Aroma, this is not the first Titan skull you've seen, as one of the Fire Titans was felled thousands of years back in your homeland. So you may have actually seen the petrified skull of that Titan before.
Whoa.
Smaller than this one. Definitely smaller. The Storm Titans were the big boys comparatively. Not as big as the Cloud Titans, but big.
Yeah.
But within short order, you arrive at the station, or getting off the train. Aroma, everything here is different from what you've experienced before. Unlike Bright Hall, which is the first city you're really used to, where like things are kind of ever moving up, on like concentric rings of the city. This is kind of just flat and expansive. Almost kind of feels similar to like Boston in a way, where it grew kind of naturally, and there's this mix of like tall buildings and small buildings, and it's very kind of busy and chaotic around, but a strange sense of like natural order to the way things are laid out.
Yeah. Oh. So where's your base?
Hello?
Hi.
What do you guys want to do?
Hello?
Dusty's gonna go find somebody who can identify those items.
I guess
Do you want to check
Ruz
in at the
will,
tavern first?
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna at least show Aroma at the tavern, but let's all go as a group, guys.
Right,
We're in the capital right now,
see
right?
what's going on with Maeve because she
Still
just
late.
dropped.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, while we wait for her to get back, what did you say? Where did you say you guys wanted to go next?
To the tavern.
Okay.
Home base. HQ.
Tavern isn't incredibly far from where you guys are. About a 10-minute walk or so. As you're heading that way, and you can kind of see the. Wait, we need to, before I continue further, we need to figure out what's going on with Maeve because I don't want her to miss this.
Yeah. At some point, Aroma would also like to find a post office to send a letter to their gang. Yeah, probably that.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll continue without her then.
Continue.
So, as you guys are rounding the corner and you can see the entranceway of the tavern, and you can see Vincent Whiteshell standing guard out front, you actually immediately see pouring out of the tavern is a series of dwarves, halflings, and gnomes, all carrying different tools. So 2 of them are carrying like a big piece of lumber walking by, all pouring out, followed by a very lanky, pale elven man with kind of icy blue hair that's following behind them with a clipboard, walking in your general direction, having just left your tavern. Oh, is that me back?
What's
Welcome
going
back.
on?
Hi.
You just
Hello.
saw a bunch of gnomes, dwarves, and halflings carrying tools out of your tavern.
Oh.
Followed by a lanky elven man with very pale skin and blue hair. Like icy blue hair.
We don't know this guy?
Never met him before. Doesn't look familiar.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
He walks up to you, he's holding a clipboard. Yes, he flips through some paperwork. Would one of you happen to be Kettle?
Be that one.
That-
Points. Yeah.
I need you to sign here that the construction has concluded as planned and is up to your satisfaction.
Can we look at the construction?
Absolutely, I'm prepared to. I already gave your craftsman friend a tour, but I can give you a tour as well. And kind of looks at the gnomes following. You can all break for lunch when you get back. I'll follow shortly.
Oh yeah, when he says craftsman friend, Dusty's, oh yeah, that's right. Maybe he can identify it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm talking to myself, don't mind me.
Would you like to see the work site?
Yes, please.
Very well, follow me. He kind of turns back into your tavern.
This guy is very melancholic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sounds like he hates his job.
Also, notably, you guys don't remember scheduling any work to be done.
Yeah.
But he kind of leads the way in. Says, your bartender showed us where you wanted it to be built, so we got to work once we got here. In the future, if you have any specific requests with any work, we ask that you are here the day after you put the request in so I may go over it with you.
Ruz is nodding along, trying to keep up with clearly having no clue what's going on exactly.
And he leads you to the back where it used to be an empty lot out the back of your tavern. You see in a corner right up against the building now, there is a bricked up area with a awning over it, a little kind of like porch roof that has most notably a sizable forge in it. And dotted around are different crafting stations. There's a woodworking station, a leatherworking station, pretty much anything a craftsman could want.
Something tells me our friend Barnabas took a few liberties.
Oh, I would say he's probably there, by the way, if they just
okay.
finished.
Barbas would be there, probably looking over the forge.
The forge is fully installed?
Aurelio walks over to you. Yes, it should be ready for any work your craftsman may have need to do. It's a full suite leatherworking station, woodworking station, general tools for any repairs you may need. There is not a textile station, unfortunately, but that can be installed later should you need it. The most notable part is the forge has had added signalum into the actual clay of it so that it can be more easily enchanted at a later date if that is something you wish to get done. Currently it is unenchanted and will only be adequate for your rudimentary forge makings, steel and iron works. Anything more exotic than that, you will probably want to get the forge enchanted for it to have better heat resistance, and possibly some enchanted coals for a stronger flame. But it is a good base work to work off of and build up from. Is there any questions you may have?
Not for you, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Looks at he looks at you, Kettle, and hands you the pen and the clipboard to sign on.
Kettle signs her name.
Okay.
Still very confused as to why all of this is happening.
I'll roll an insight for him. He probably won't pick up on it, but he might. Actually, it's a pretty good roll for him. He kind of looks at you, seeing that you're confused. Oh, I'm sorry. It seems I've caught you at a disadvantage. Were you not notified of this beforehand?
No, I don't think any of us were.
Sorry, I took a bite of my salad at the wrong time.
That's okay.
That's unfortunate.
Ed-
Well, I don't know who put in the order for the work. We simply received the order, but I suppose I should at least make an introduction. My name is Aurelio von Trell. I am the state-ordered craftsman for your guild. In the future, any renovations you ask for your guild will come to me, and my crew will be the ones to take care of it. And he kind of limply holds out his hand for you to shake.
Does no one else
Yeah, you're just gonna
No one
leave
shakes his hand.
extend a hand out?
I guess
Right-
Dusty
right.
will. I guess Dusty will.
Okay, he shakes your. It's
Dusty-
a very soft grip.
Oh, Dusty does the opposite. He's just.
Oh no, Dust does a
No.
handshake and this guy clearly isn't.
Do a strength check.
It's
for
that
me,
awkward
Dusty.
moment.
Oh boy. I hope I
Oh
don't-
god.
Okay, you do a really strong grip. Although, despite this guy's limp handshake, does not react at all. It is a pleasure to meet you. If
You as
you ever
well.
have requirement of some construction to your building in the future, it will be I who is assigned to it. I usually will arrive at the premises the day after the request is received to go over the details and zoning for it with the guild head or whoever is available for said proceedings. So if you put in an order, do please be available the day after, or at the very least, pass along your wishes, specific and vague, to someone that you know will be here to go into detail.
Oh, Kettle is very good at vague requests.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, if that is all you have need of me, I will bid you adieu until the next time you have work for me.
Okay, goodbye.
But
Have a safe trip.
Ruz gives a thumbs up.
You
Kettle's very
do.
I'm gonna go see if I can find our friend.
Barbas is right in front of you. He is going
At
over
the
the
forge.
forge.
Doing all of this.
Does anyone know if we have the sign up yet? It's been like 2 years.
Sign has not been put up. It's been a couple
No,
of
it
weeks.
hasn't.
In
I
world,
made,
it's been a couple of
note
weeks.
of that.
Time is weird.
Hey, Barbas.
Huh? He kind
Can
of
you-
looks over. Oh, my friends, you've returned.
Yeah.
Friend?
Yes. Yes, Aroma. This
Ah.
is Barbas.
Oh, you brought someone new. Hello.
Yes.
Hi. We're Roma. And if they're gonna go up to sniff your hands.
Yeah, he'll hold his hand out. I'm kind of going for a handshake, but he'll take it too. Barbas Stalheim, at your service.
And then they hold out their hand to sniff.
He's not gonna do that.
Oh,
I'm
Aroma,
sorry.
just
Ruz tilts.
Yeah, he's a
Their
little
head.
confused.
Yeah, Dusty kind
Oh.
of leans into Aroma and goes, your customs are a little different than ours. We don't go around sniffing people's hands.
Barbas
Ruz
is also
tilt-
quite tall.
Yeah.
Ruz
So-
is going to.
Going to do that from now on.
How was your?
Ruz speaks up if that's okay. Wait, why didn't
There's,
you greet us like this? And this is to Aroma.
we were covered in blood.
Barbas is gonna kind of look around. Where's Derlin?
He didn't make it back.
What happened?
We're not quite sure, but we've assumed he's dead.
Sorry about your kid.
we. That's not my kid. Why do you keep saying that? Anyway.
Perhaps you just have a fatherly presence about you.
You know, Daddy Dusty does have a nice ring to it.
Ew.
Anyway, excuse
Perhaps
me.
not like that.
Not like what?
Keep saying that.
Anyway, yeah, we had to run in with a man named Black Drake, and we managed to escape with some help, but Derlin did not.
Is Black Drake a familiar name to Barbas?
Roll a history check.
That was 20.
Actually, I should say you
I'm
could
not
roll
sure.
history or religion would both technically work for this.
Both the same modifier, so.
Strange. It's not like a famous name. It's not that, but you swear you've heard it before, but you don't know why. It's like something burning in the back of your head. Like you've met a Black Drake, right? Something Black Drake. No, you're not sure. It seems familiar, but you're not sure why.
It's a familiar name.
Ruz's eyes kind of
Something with an S.
go up at the mention of that. That's a familiar name.
Yeah, his first name begins with an S, right?
No, Did you know this guy's dad?
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure
think
his name's Marshall, right?
Mm.
Marshall Blackdrake. At least that's what we know him by.
Perhaps I've met a different Black Drake. Or
Or
Mhm.
that's just
That-
an alias he's using.
The fact that you might know his like father or some sort of ancestor does imply a great deal of time in that at that point, because as far as I can tell, he's a vampire. Out of character. That has been established, right?
Yes,
he
you
is
are aware. You guys have literally seen him drain somebody's blood with his teeth.
okay.
that's interesting.
Was that the same one who brainwashed Derland?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
He didn't brainwash him. He simple-minded him. He basically turned
Well-
him into an infant.
Ruz remembers
Not
that
much of-
because Ruz
not
had
much
to
of a
babysit.
I'll I didn't really know him that well, so I'll leave my thoughts to myself. But
I
you're all back.
Yes.
So tell me. What
I
happened?
got,
First
How was
things
your journey?
first.
well,
Ruz puts a hand up and says first things first. And then kind of gestures to the forge. I might approve of this. Next time, let us know.
Oh, I thought this was a surprise for me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when I showed up, they were making forge. I thought you guys installed a forge for me to work at.
Okay, Barbas, you were made aware there's a letter waiting for them at the in the bar.
Oh yeah, I'm actually aware of the name too, right?
Yes, actually, I believe you are.
Yeah.
Ruz is like just blinking in surprise.
Yeah.
Adric Goldhammer.
Goldhammer. Yeah, there's a Goldhammer that left a note about it for you.
Okay, if
Should
somebody
be with
gets
the
that,
the barkeep. The man who
Cool,
watches
but-
over. What's his name?
Asher
I
Allfield. I
Sure.
believe.
I was gonna say Asher, but I didn't want to get it wrong.
Okay. Well, now that he's done talking to you about that, hey Barbas, I found this ring and this cloak. Could you maybe help me figure out what the heck these doohickeys are?
Ruz
can
lets out
probably
a
do
sigh
that.
and starts to head out to the bar.
Okay.
Oh, Ruz, right? Come back. Tell me about your journey.
I gotta get the note first.
I can tell you all about it.
Very well.
So,
Well,
while Rose is heading up to get the note, Asher greets you as he always does, cheerfully. Back from some adventure, I see.
Asher, Kettle is very confused.
Yeah, I meant to ask about that. There was something about some work order was put in for the building. There was a letter, and he shuffles kind of below his station and pulls out a sealed letter with a GH kind of wax seal on it and hands it to you. By the way, for Vicky, who has not been here before, Asher is an older gentleman, white hair, very well kept, no beard. He wears a suit and tie with kind of a vest, almost like a he'd almost look like a valet. And he wears one black glove. He's an older gentleman, looks like he's probably in his 70s to maybe 80s, but very well put together.
He's basically Team Mom.
Oh, so he's a silver fox.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. He's got a real remember the butler from Overlord?
Yeah.
Sebastian. He's based on him. He's a mix of him and Walter from Helsing. Was the inspiration for him.
Okay.
He hands you the note. Sure, that probably explains it somewhat. While you're here,
Kettle tears open the note.
Okay. The note is available to all of you in found documents. Letter from Adric Goldhammer. If any of you want to read it aloud.
Should we know that name? I feel-
Roll a history check with advantage.
22. All right, that's actually pretty good.
Adric Goldhammer is the man that owned the mine, the mining company that you went and cleared out the mine for. He was not the man. He was not the man that gave you the mission. He was the man that owned that company.
Russ's eyes are just...
Kettle will read aloud. Dear Kettles, on behalf of the Goldhammer Mining Company, it is my sincere pleasure to thank you for your efforts in securing our mine, as well as retrieving our employees. When did we do this? My foreman has informed me that your party went above and beyond your duties in doing so. That does not sound like us. As such, we thought it only fitting that you'd be justly rewarded for your efforts. To that end, we have taken the liberty of having a forge constructed for your establishment, as well as shipping you a small supply of ore that will no doubt please whatever craftsman you decide to hire. I trust this kindness shall be remembered should we require your services again in the future.
Oh. I see.
This
You
was
guys helped the
the
gentleman with the mine.
this was the
I remember the mine.
mission you had taken just where you fought the plate mail horror.
Where Derlin tried to jump off a cliff.
Yeah, we're turning almost fucking.
It's the
I realize
it's
this
where
is
you guys got all the
so
black
stupid.
signalum.
This was
Yeah.
over a year ago now, so I do not blame you for forgetting.
Yeah.
I remember that by
I
virtue
remember it.
of the Derlin thing.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the goat hammer, but I definitely remembered everything around this mission.
No, and then
Yeah.
we met Arbus, right? And we told him about the teleport thing, and Barbara
Yeah.
thought we could all teleport because of how vague it
You
was.
guys tricked him into thinking you could all teleport.
Yeah.
I think I still have my notes from that session, even though I wasn't in it.
Okay.
So you guys got a free forge.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Just he was gonna wave or hold up the amethyst ring and the cloak and be like, "Oh yeah, Barbara, I don't know what this did. Can you help?"
Oh yeah. Do you all have things you want me to identify for you?
I don't know.
Well, that's just a ring.
That's
Well, I imagine the ring does something special. It's the whole thing's amethyst, is it not? Or is it just the gemstone?
No, it's like a silver ring with an amethyst gemstone.
Okay. I imagine if there's an enchantment on that ring, I'd be able to find it out for you. Do you have anything specific? Something maybe with a bit of history to it. 'Cause that's what I can work with.
This
Kettle didn't pick up anything, did she? I don't remember.
aroma holds
No,
up the eye.
I don't think Kettle has anything new. Yeah, no,
Ruz
all your
is going
stuff
to
has been identified.
Ruz is going to, with care, pull out books from the ruin. Very gingerly. Kind of like put one down. Because Ruz try to clear as much as possible.
Ooh.
Very, very. You also do have a holy symbol you are not familiar with.
And also a pouch of weird coins.
Yes.
Do I still have any? Do I have any of those weird coins? I forget if I do.
I have 5 left.
I think
you've
Aroma
got
had them all.
No, Rose had 1, but they used it.
Yep.
Yes. So, do you want? What of these, if any of them, do you want to just normally identify, and what do you want to do the ritual for?
I mean, I know the ring and the cloak. I'll just cast identify on.
Okay. So the ring is. Let me find it, and I'll make this available to Dustu in his items list. The ring is a ring of poison resistance. Requires attunement. While you are attuned to the ring, you have resistance to poison.
Mhm.
That is available to Alex. The cloak is the Cloak of the Manta Ray. While wearing this cloak with the hood up, you can breathe underwater and you have a swimming speed of 60 feet. Pulling the hood down requires an action. Or pulling the hood up and down requires an action. Does not require attunement.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, this one's pretty nice. Ever want to go for a swim?
I mean, like, I can kind of already swim, but like,
Well, you can breathe
I
underwater,
can kinda,
but you
yeah,
can't
for like
really
an hour.
swim.
Yeah, you don't have a swim
It's
speed.
the swim speed that really, because you would basically be moving at half speed, underwater normally. So like normally underwater you'd have a 15-foot movement a turn. This would up that to 60 feet if you used it.
If I use it, yes.
But it also doesn't require attunement, so this is an item you can pass around as needed, if need be.
Okay. Okay.
So what else are you showing, Barbas? Just the book?
The books. I'm not seeing if I have the. I don't think I have the holy symbol.
I don't know who grabbed it. Somebody grabbed one.
It's not me.
'Cause if he's seeing
Was it
that, he'd
Gocho?
definitely be using the.
I think it was
It was
Aroma.
not Goto,
I'm
he
hoping it
was
was
long dead
Aroma.
by then.
Yeah, he was dead. Unfortunately.
Might have been me. I didn't write it down though.
It also might have been Kettle. Well, actually, no. Kettle grabbed a bunch of the shiny holy symbols, but this one was very specifically not shiny.
Yeah, then Aroma probably grabbed that one. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you apologizing? You don't have to
I
apologize.
didn't- Because I didn't put it in my notes, but I have it. I think I have it in my notes somewhere, but I didn't put it into my sheet, and I'm trying
That's
to.
fine.
I don't even
Yeah.
keep notes.
If you find it in your notes, we'll say you have it. But until then, we'll assume it is lost in somebody's backpack somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah.
Then I guess we won't pull that out then. Raz is also going to pull out of the bag of holding a Manico's with sort of like faded etching on it. I'd also want to know if you could possibly
Can you remind me
Figure
real
out
quick
what this
where
is.
you got those manacles from?
good question. I had it been from the Black Marshall's little dungeon, I think. But I can't be sure. I just remember I grabbed that.
I don't recall when I gave those to you, so I'm not sure. Well, until we can figure out exactly where those come from, we will assume they're just normal manacles.
I have a note that I grabbed a dull relish.
Oh, that's probably the relic or
Hmm.
the thing.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
just-
big enough
Unless
to be
you
the.
somehow found dull relish, like in the grocery
Well,
store.
'cause I did say that holy symbol was specifically a little dull and not especially fancy. So that sounds like that might have been what that was. So yes, you would have the holy
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, looking at the Manicos, I think it had to have been either.
I mean, take notes, guys.
I know. I didn't know if I needed to take notes of Manicos with faded etching.
You
Shit.
had those a while ago, didn't you?
symbol. Yeah, I think those were from before Black Drake. I think you've had those a while, but I don't remember from where.
I think
Yeah.
they were from the cave.
It's possible they were from the cave.
Mm. Oh, do you mean like the cave, like way back, like the Drow cave?
Yeah, the one where Durlin jumped off the cliff.
Oh yeah, that might be the case.
Okay.
Well, either way, they are rudimentary manacles. They're just relatively old.
Okay. Damn,
no,
I grabbed them because of the faded etching. Oh well.
no special
Oh.
historical significance.
So it's just the book. Are you showing him the holy symbol?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say
It has a little bit of relish on it. Sorry.
if you do the full ritual on the manacles, the most you would get history-wise is that they were once used to chain up in a plate mail horror, which you would also be generally informed of what that is history-wise, which is basically a very ancient and powerful demon that needed to be sealed within a restrictive suit of armor, so that
But
it could
they
be
put
properly
joints in it.
contained. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't put joints in it. The joints were broken into it.
Oh. That's what Oblen meant.
Yes.
Okay. Do I recognize the holy symbol by looking at it?
Roll an insight check.
Insight. That's actually my best roll, and it's gonna be real bad because I said that. No, 18.
You know, it's strange. Because, like, you don't think you've ever seen that holy symbol before. And there's something vaguely familiar about it, but most notably to you, while it seems incredibly simple in its design, and it's not polished, it's not made of any elegant material, there's no gems in it, but there's something a little beautiful about its simplicity to you. But you're not sure.
Like, after that, I have to use the ritual on it.
Okay.
I will go ahead and use my channel divinity.
Okay. You are aware with channel divinity, when you cast it, you're basically getting your god's insight on the item. And the information you get on that is based off of what your god knows and what your god is willing to tell. And you get the sense, one, this is a very ancient holy symbol of a god that has not been worshipped in many years. But you don't get a sense of what that god is. And you're not sure if this is because your god doesn't know who it was or is not willing to tell who it was. But you don't know who this was the worship of, or if it was indeed a god. Just something that was worshipped as a god.
Question for you. Aroma?
I think she left.
She did. Okay. I'll ask her in
So
a moment.
that's your channel divinity. Do you want to identify any of these other items?
I mean,
There was the
identify
coins as well, I believe.
Yeah, I actually would want to identify the coins.
Okay. You're back on? Barbara
Yep.
had a question for you specifically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Can I keep this?
Keep what?
A holy symbol.
The symbol.
Who is it of?
I don't know. And I can't tell if Zolmesh doesn't know or doesn't want to let me know.
Okay.
It's familiar.
Okay.
It's just something I think I need.
Okay.
Thank you. And I will cast Identify on the coins.
Coins are very interesting. They're a very rudimentary magic item. You've seen stuff like this. They're similar to a spell scroll, where someone imbues an item with a spell so that that item can just mirror the spell back out one time and then be consumed.
Sure.
Which that seems to be what the case is here. But the notable thing here is you don't know this spell. You sense from the nature of casting Identify, you get the knowledge of what the spell's name is and what it does, but you've never heard of the spell before. It casts a spell called Fortune's Favor. Let me pull up the exact wording on D&D so I can give you the exact detail of what it does. But yeah, it casts an unknown spell that you've never heard of a cleric, wizard, druid, or caster of any kind using the spell before. You impart latent luck to yourself or one willing creature you can see within range. When the chosen creature makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw before the spell ends, it can dismiss this, or it can also dismiss the spell on itself to roll an additional d20 and choose which of the d20s to use. Alternatively, when an attack roll is made against the chosen creature, you can dismiss this spell on itself to roll a d20 and choose which of the d20s is used. The one it rolled or the one the attacker rolled.
So it's halfling luck.
Not quite. If the original
It's
D20
like the luck
has
feat.
advantage
Yeah.
or disadvantage, the creature, it's more like the luck feat.
Okay.
It has a normally has a casting time of 1 minute, so and it has a duration of 1 hour. So you've got 5 of these coins that can cast Fortune's Favor 1 time. And it is not concentration, though. Even if it was concentration, the item itself holds the concentration for you. And this
Well,
kind
that's
of
pretty.
nature of thing.
Do I know the school?
You do not.
Okay.
Well, actually,
It's
you'd get the name of the school, but it's not any of the established schools. It's a school known as Dunamancy, which you have never heard of before.
well, that's weird.
You're not sure if it's
Where'd you pick these up?
In a ruin outside of Darkreach, by the way.
There was a lot of booms, and the place outside was on fire, and there was a big spider lady, and
Well, based on what you're bringing me, I'm saying you were someplace very old because the symbol you have here is a god that's not worshipped anymore, and these here are a school of magic that doesn't exist anymore.
You
Or
would love
someone
the
crazy
place-
found this or made up their own school of magic, because this has a spell that I've never ever heard of.
I will say, notably with the holy symbol, it's not incredibly uncommon for non-god entities to be worshipped as gods and have their own holy symbols crafted, and then those entities to fall out of favor, and then those schools. So it's not like you've never heard of a lost god, but
Sure.
it's definitely not an everyday occurrence.
Okay.
You would love the place we came out of, that the ruins that, like, there was, how would you describe it? Anybody?
Basically, there was this magical field around it. If you stepped outside of the field, you couldn't see or interact with the ruins themselves, nor could you cross over.
He's kind of just like enthralled in how you're talking.
We kind of need to come back to that, I think.
Yeah.
I agree, and you should take me with you.
That's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'll give this back to you, my friend, and he'll give you back the coin. These are very powerful, and he'll explain how the spell works.
So you know they cast Fortune's Favor, and I know you already know what that does because you watch Critical Role. Favored spell of one Caleb Widowgast.
Yep. Now, I have a bit of a favor. This is a big ask, but it's something I've realized I want to do, and this isn't a need. How good are you guys in with Harkin?
Rez is going to blink.
I guess, like, we know him. I mean, like, he doesn't hate us, at least to my knowledge.
Okay.
On
It's-
decent terms, I suppose.
It was a strong if. Never mind. Forget I asked. He's kind of nervously going to dismiss the question.
Rez is going to step right up to you,
Hey, Jack.
put a hand on your shoulder, and go, "You've already made us curious."
You
Aroma's
can roll
insight
a deception or just persuasion, your choice.
I'm not going to fight with them.
Okay.
I'm going to just go with it.
So what does Aroma insight off of you?
He's he's not. It's not like a malicious question. He seems really nervous when he mentions Harkin, but not kind of like he's afraid of him, but more like
Aroma thinks you have a crush on him.
he's anxious when he mentions
Yeah.
A little
Harkin.
bit of a fanboy. Little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to know how to make those. And he points to your weapons.
Oh,
Now, I've asked a lot of people if they know anything about how Harkin does it. No one knows. And the more I ask, the more it seems like kind of like his secret. And I don't really want to take that from him. But
You really want to know about it.
I do. I really do. It's so cool.
Ruz
How do you make Betel do that?
Metal do what?
I mean, like, we did just finish business in Darkreach. We're probably gonna talk to him and let him know.
We'd probably have to ask if he's okay with a bring one. What's damn out of character? What's the damn term?
A plus one?
A +1.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'm not expecting him to just outright tell me the secrets of his ways.
You want
I
to know?
want to know if he'll give me a chance. It sounds like eventually he'll want to teach something.
Well, I mean, if you're working with us, chances are you'll probably run into him at some point.
Yeah.
Even if we can't bring you with a mission briefing.
Sure. Well, I have been stretching my legs around this capital for a while. I hope you don't mind if I tag along on whatever mission it is you want to take on. I've actually had the liberty of already looking at some of the available missions. I don't know how much time you want to spend back here, but
Didn't we have business somewhere specific, guys? After doing this?
Kettle has to feed the squares.
squirrels.
You do
okay.
owe Don Nut. Bill's gonna come due one day.
You owe the nut his due.
Yeah.
We do need to give the nut what he needs.
Was this pre-nut or post-nut?
God damn it.
Danny, you gotta pick better names.
He's a squirrel. It's a great
No,
name.
No, it's a great
Don
name. And if
Nut.
it makes you feel any better, one of the managers at one of my old stores was named Donnie Boob, and we just called him Don Boob. So, like, hey.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was
there are
got
a lot of really
the
dumb
Drake and
pun
Josh
names
quite
in
a
real
bit.
life.
Mm-hmm. But,
My work wife has the last name Cummings.
There
Yeah.
were
That's
all
And
unfortunate.
it's
kinds
spelled
of-
exactly how you think it's spelled.
yeah, it's UMMING.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there
but
was
sorry
all
that I
kinds of
derailed
weird
us all.
names when I worked at Market Basket. I used to have to call all
And
kinds of weird names over the intercom.
Yeah. But yeah, didn't we had to go somewhere after this, right? We were gonna go to Darkreach and then
Well, so
did we already do that?
I think what you're thinking of, Harkin has a list of specific jobs he needs done that he's looking for you guys to specifically do because he wants it to be done a little bit more covertly. But you've not.
Okay.
Basically, you get the idea. Like you return to him, and then he sends you and gives you the details on the next one when and if you choose to take it.
Gotcha.
Was the general agreement.
Okay. Alright, cool. Well, I mean,
The other thing,
uh,
random question. You guys didn't happen to run into anything that would be considered a very powerful energy source, did you?
not that. I mean,
I don't know.
in the ruins, some crazy stuff was happening. I don't know if it would be an energy source, but
Okay, just curious.
yeah.
Why are you curious? Russ kind of tilts their head.
That one I'm gonna leave to my chest. Little thing I'm planning. But I need something like that if we come across it.
Ruz is
needs it
giving
'cause
you a
he's-
look. And it's hard to tell if it's suspicion or just disappointment. You're holding something back and it's the curiosity that's killing them.
Guys, I think Barbas is
Feels-
planning on stealing the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, if only I could use the Declaration of Independence for what I'm planning.
In a one-shot sometime, I'm gonna make a paladin for one of you to play where their oath is the Declaration of Independence.
God damn.
And that's the source of their power.
Yeah. Well, in due time.
The oath of patriotism.
All I'll say, Hawken holds his cause to his chest for a reason, and so do I.
Ominous.
It'll work out for the better for all of us. But while we're out, let's just keep an eye out. Something small, perhaps. Anyway,
So you're looking for a portable power source then? Probably
preferably,
for some sort of device?
perhaps. I've had a breakthrough. That's all I'll let on.
A breakthrough.
Mm.
The more you talk about it, the more I really want to know now.
All the more
How
reason
about
to
this?
find the power source.
It kind of looks about. Is everyone else kind of listening in?
Probably.
Yeah, well, you were talking to all of us. with the items.
Well. Well, now it
If you
feels
need a
more like he's
pull,
one-on-one
need
with
a
Ruz.
pull Ruz aside, you can.
Maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, to business.
Where do you guys want to go next?
I think we should probably report in with Hawken and
I will say also, because it's probably important to Ruz given what happened last session, Cassius is in the bar right now, so he is present.
Cassius.
Cassius Vol.
Oh yeah, the guy with the.
oh, thank you for reminding me. My brain is
No problem.
blah, 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 blah.
You don't necessarily need to talk to him right now. He usually hangs around a good deal, but just so you know, he is in the capital if you need to find him.
Oh, I did
Alright.
talk with him.
Yeah, I think you talked with him a little bit. You mostly talked to Disc a lot. You were
I talked
very
to Dis.
curious about his
Cassius was the one that was getting like real drunk, though, right?
No, that was what the fuck was his name? That was the monk. Cassius is the paladin.
Yep.
I think you exchanged
Okay.
pleasantries
Yeah, I don't think I
with
talked
him,
to
but
Cassius.
he didn't say a lot.
Right.
He's kind
Yeah,
of
Disc was interesting. Good name. Really
Now,
good
the
name.
question is this the actual Cassius, or is this Shift disguising himself as Cassius?
It could be
That's a good question.
either. Who's to say?
Yeah.
I will say the name of Shift's alter ego was Cassius, not Cassius.
Yeah.
But
Who knows? Maybe he's Shift.
there are similar names.
Ruz is going to head over to Cassius real quick.
Okay. Do you want to talk to him by yourself and the rest of the party moves on without you, or are you gonna ask people to wait?
Yeah,
up?
Ruz can catch up.
Okay. So we'll do this first then. You approach Cassius. He's kind of leaned against the stairs as he usually is, just kind of looking around every now and again, talking to somebody if they come up to him. He sees you approach. You're back. It's been a while.
It has. Anything interesting?
Not much. We had a job a little while back, but it's cold weather. It's Oh, you're from Blackreach, you know. Easier to stay indoors. I don't like the snow.
I actually, snow reminds me too much of home, if you catch my mean.
I get that one.
So,
How'd your most recent mission go?
mixed bag.
I hate to pry, but I noticed you were one short coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Can I assume that Derlin won't be returning anytime soon?
If he returns at all.
All too familiar with that feeling.
Mm. It's not one I've felt in a long time.
It's like riding a bike. Every time it happens, all the sting comes right back. He was a good lad. Bit of an idiot sometimes, but well-intentioned.
Rose actually lets out a very awkward and... It's as if Ruz isn't very familiar with laughing, and it just kind of as soon as Ruz realizes that they're laughing, sort of clams up a bit.
Cassius actually returns a very similar chuckle. Both of you having grown up in a similar environment, there's kind of a quiet understanding.
Yep, he was an idiot. Tried his best, though.
Yeah.
And
That's all anyone
despite
can do.
despite him making many mistakes, he was still a friend.
And kind of grabs a drink that he had on the step next to him. Kind of goes for cheers. To Derlin, then.
Rose waves for like a glass of something,
Brooke
probably
hands you
water.
a drink as she walks by, serving everybody.
I take it and raise it up. Dylan.
Give a cheers to him. Oh, tell me there was some good news while you were out at the very least. All doom and gloom.
Very mixed bag. More bittersweet news more than anything else. And there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Talk to me?
Do you know anyone by the name of Jack?
His eyes kind of go a little bit wide. Like his eyebrows raise a little bit, like not like shocked, but as like unexpected. Yes, it's my older brother. You meet Jack while you're out there?
No. I was hoping you might be able to put me in touch with him at some point. When convenient. No pressure.
I can get a message out, but it'll probably take a while for him to get back. Give it a week or two, probably.
That's fine.
Is there some reason you have business with him?
I'm hoping he can... I've heard he can help find people in Darkreach. Blackheart, my bad.
He kind of sighs a little bit. He's like, still in that business, isn't he? Yes, he kind of scratches his head a little bit. Have I told you much about my family before?
I don't think you have.
Me and Jack were raised by our older sister, Mai. She's the one that originally got us out of Blackheart. She used to do what she could to get a lot of people out, but when she got us out, she had to make a deal and it's a little bit harder for her to do that work now. And I think Jack felt a little responsible for that. So, ever since he's been able to start making connections and taking jobs, that's been his focus. I can see about getting in contact with him, but I can't promise anything.
That's fine. This is probably something that's not going to go anywhere. So
I won't pry into your business. Your heartache is your own.
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Your heartache is your own.
Mm.
Give it a week or two. I'll see if I can get in contact with him. Maybe get a response.
I'm guessing his sort of service doesn't come for free.
Well,
how much?
I'll leave the payment matter to him. He kind of looks at you. Roll an insight real quick.
All right. I can't see it. What is it?
Right. It's a 16. Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like he goes, leans in. Between you and me, my brother's a bit of a bleeding heart. He usually puts himself out trying to make his services more affordable than he can afford them to be. But I'll see what we can do.
That's not quite what I was getting at. I don't want charity. I just want the job done and to cover whatever costs there might be.
Well, I don't know the exact details of what he does, so it'll be up to him to give you the price, but...
Ruz nods.
I'll let you know once I hear back from him.
Maybe later we can actually talk about more cheerful times.
Fingers crossed.
Ruz nods, finishes the drink, and then goes to fall after the rest of the group.
Okay.
With a little wave.
With the it's a bit of a walk to Harkin, so if you're sprinting, you can probably catch up to them before they get there.
Oh yeah.
Assuming they weren't also sprinting to make sure that you would not be at the meeting. Do
Kettle
you
has
guys
been
wanna...
going all out, on all fours, just get cat out of hell.
She full on turns into a direwolf and just sprints, Aroma riding on her back.
Oh no, you should totally go for an ape. Go for an ape, do some parkour, move from roof to roof.
So do you guys wait up a little bit for Ruz, or are you heading straight to the meeting?
Barbarous is along for the ride.
She's gonna head straight there.
Okay. As long as you're not outwardly sprinting there, Ruz can catch up to you about as you're arriving there.
Aroma would have held back unless invited because they don't know where they're supposed to go.
Would you invite Aroma to the meeting?
I would assume we'd just bring everyone.
Kettle takes their hand, and they walk hand in hand because they're besties.
Yay! They do the swinging thing. Well, they try to do the swinging thing, but it's kind of hard because
Kettle's
they're
a
so small.
little too tall.
Aroma also, kobolds are usually around 2 feet tall with their stance. If they're stretching, they can get to 3 feet.
Yeah.
They're the smallest race.
I think we agree that Kettle was around average Tabaxi height, which is still pretty tall compared to Aroma.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone in this party but Dustu is 6 feet tall. And Dustu's 6'5".
Yeah.
So,
If Aroma gets tired, they can be on Kettle's back.
Good.
You guys arrive at the shop front that is also the head guild of the city where you usually meet Harkin at. It's average business today, not a ton of people coming in and out. You head in there. the Gorgon woman Rachel will kind of to describe her for Barbas and Aroma, who have not seen them before. She's kind of dressed like a almost like librarian, like like a white kind of blouse shirt, not a pencil skirt, but like black pants. She has a clipboard with her, and she has kind of emerald scales with her tendril hair, as the Gorgons tend to have, and kind of amber eyes, just solid amber eyes. And she sees you guys enter.
I'm pretty sure I've met her already.
You might have actually.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like if Vraska was cosplaying a librarian.
Oh God.
Oh, that's
my.
okay.
Oh my.
That's
Oh
a great
my.
way of describing that.
Oh my. Yeah.
I was just thinking that actually.
A little
That
more
was
mild mannered than Vraska. She's not
Okay.
quite
I was
little.
gonna say,
little.
Dan, you just helped me discover a new kink, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah.
Suddenly, halfway through the game, everyone wants to romance Rachel. Who would have thought?
No.
God damn.
So you guys enter. She sees you guys as you walk in. Oh, you guys are back.
Yep.
Here to
Wait, no. Hold on a second. Full sprint.
Here to see Harkin, I assume.
Yes, please.
She kind of looks at the door that leads to his office. Give me 1 second. She shuffles in. You hear a little bit of noise. She shuffles back out. Just give him 1 sec. She kind of looks around.
Insight check.
Okay, roll insight.
Pretty good.
Ooh.
Give him 1 second. And she sees you're kind of like reading her, and she's like, okay, he's been really busy lately, and he fell asleep in his office, and I didn't want to wake him because he's not been sleeping, and he needs to sleep, but this is important, so just give him a second to compose himself.
We were actually doing that because of the way they're like the and the they just seem nervous.
With the insight, well, for one, you get she's nervous because she wanted her boss to sleep, but also she's just kind of generally a slightly mild-mannered person.
Okay.
So that, like, this mild amount of stress of trying to cover for her boss being asleep was enough for her to feel stressed.
Yeah.
Minute or two. Is there anything else you guys need while you're here?
Your name?
You're a new one. I'm Rachel. I'm Sir Harkin's assistant.
We're Aroma.
Pleasure to meet you.
And Aroma's gonna. Do they hold out their hand?
Yeah,
Does she?
holds out her hand.
Aroma's gonna sniff it
Okay.
and then hold out their hand. They're like standing on their tail in front of the desk.
Kind of like leans forward and like gives like a hesitant sniff, like.
It smells like ink, if you're curious.
Okay. She's like, Aroma, you're from. I believe you're from Brighthall, correct?
Yeah, that's where we were before we met these people.
I do all the paperwork for the guild, so I tend to be able to recognize where people are from when I recognize the names. Well, it's nice to meet
You guys have already put us paperwork? Well, it's nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Got the
Yeah.
paperwork.
Every guildsman, ungilded or gilded, we have paperwork for here.
When
So-
did we become a guildsman?
You are aware your temple basically put you to be a guildsman, which is why you can take missions. Basically,
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Guildsmen are government documented mercenaries.
Okay.
You should
Sorry.
have a welcome party.
You
With
have a
cakes.
hell of a memory.
And she looks at you, Barbas. I'll roll a check for her real quick. And Barbie... It's on the tip of my tongue. I know your last name. You were here the other day. You were from Springlocks originally. Stalheim, that was it.
Correct. I take it you
Better-
have to be good at this sort of thing in your line of work.
A little. I do a lot of paperwork, so I see names frequently. Kind of memorize them over time.
Do you know any of these names? And they jump on the desk and start showing the tattoos.
Oh boy.
What language are the tattoos in?
Largely they would be in parcel tongue.
Okay, she does speak that language, so she looks. I'm afraid I don't. Are they guildsmen?
I mean, there's
or-
like 100 names or so on there, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they can't see all of them, but
Yes. And most of them are from your clan,
yeah.
who would not be documented. So
Well, we didn't know where they are, so we don't know if maybe any of them became guildsmen, but we guess not. Sorry.
if I see any of them pop up, I'll be sure to let you know.
Thank you.
Can maybe, if it's really urgent, I can probably look in the archives and maybe find something, but that's a lot to sort through. It might take me a while.
At some point it probably be good to write these down. Anyways.
When I have time, if you can give me like a written down list, I can sort through my off time if you'd like.
Yeah. Sorry, Barbus, for interrupting your flirting.
What? Oh no, I was making conversation.
Well,
But that's okay.
when you say flirting, she kind of blushes a little bit and kind of holds her clipboard a little bit tighter to her chest. Master Harkin's probably ready for you now. Are they going in with? Were they involved in the mission?
This one was, yes. And
Barbara
Ruz,
kind of looks over at Ruz.
Ruz looks over at Ruz. Ruz pats Aroma on the shoulder a bit.
Well, and you haven't talked to Harkin since the mission with Barbus.
Yeah.
I mean,
that-
Barbus was not part of the mission, so I don't know if Ruz would be.
If you, I must ask if you weren't directly involved, if you could wait out here because these are a bit sensitive matters. I'm sure he'd rather just discuss with people that are already aware of the situation.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes, of course. Sorry.
Armor's gonna pull out their
She looks
coloring book.
around. Is Derlin not with you? Did he not want to come? That sounds like him.
Ruz shakes their head.
She's gonna roll an insight on you, actually.
I'm not really doing a good job hiding anything.
How on her sleeve?
But let's see how
is Ruz being about this? How on their sleeve is Ruz being about their attitude towards this?
Ruz's attitude is trying to just move forward because this hurts, and it's a thing that's not going away fast enough.
Looks at you and goes, "See, my condolences. I won't keep you. I'm sure you don't want to talk about it, so you can head right in." You guys head in?
Ruz nods. And then, yeah, we head in.
Roma sits on the floor
Okay,
outside since they.
your coloring book.
Yeah.
Barbus will take his seat. Sad.
Actually, Barbus, notably, this building, the front of this, has a lot of Signalum weapons on display, all crafted by Harkin by hand.
Never mind.
So I assume
Barbas
I would
will be
imagine
admiring.
Barbas is looking at all the display cases.
Yeah.
And there's both non-signalum weapons and signalum weapons crafted by Harkin. More like the ones that they have immediately on display tend to be steel weapons, but there are some signalum weapons that are like high behind like locked cases.
Yeah, as they should be.
So you can admire this craftsmanship. You can probably get like a weight of some of the iron ones and look at the iron and steel. As you guys head in, you see Harkin kind of massaging his temple and nose, clearly very tired, and having just woken up. You're back. And one short.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Harkin relatively insightful, and you guys being pretty on your chest, he kind of picks up what's down. Well, it's a shame to see one missing. I know the feeling all too well, and I won't force you to dwell on it if you don't want to. My condolences. How went the mission?
Regretfully, so it was a success. Just I wish it went down a little differently. You have all of the signatures.
You can just give me give me a list of what don't you tell him about the job. If anything.
I feel like we tell him everything.
I don't tell him about my uncle. Mostly because I forgot.
I don't think we tell him about the ruins of how we escaped.
Yeah, but we can tell him that we were
you
in
tell
Black
him any
Drake's
significant
base.
details.
I mean, we could tell him we were in Black Drake's base.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I definitely tell him about the squirrels.
I definitely tell him about our encounter with Marshal Blackdrake and the cult that we're.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's two distinct cults we have to deal with now.
See?
Well,
and I think one of them.
You described the cult that was looking for the item that you stole as well.
Ah, yes, that's correct.
It's not ideal.
We also believe we understand the motivations of Black Drake's cult. They have a grudge against gods and seem to want to try and gain power. For what exact motives, I'm still unsure.
Huh. Doesn't seem that unusual for a cult devoted to Titan. They were never quite good fans with gods.
Well, this one's at least committed to it to the point of genocide, I believe.
Yeah. He kind of sits back.
They seem to be...
We do have one problem now, though.
Nice.
You didn't see what happened to Durlin, did you?
No, we didn't.
And he asked to speak to him privately.
Well, we were walking out, and these guards forced them to stay in the room, so, yeah. We weren't really in a position to...
Want to think about it, we can't ignore the possibility that Durlin agreed to work for him and took the offer that you all rejected.
I don't think they would have gone after or towards his mother's place if he accepted that.
They could be trying to gain some collateral to make sure he doesn't betray them. I don't want to think ill of anyone that was once working with us and was once a friend, but it's a possibility I can't ignore. I'll do some work on my end to make sure that any potential holes on that end are sealed up.
Okay.
But for now, you all were promised a payment. A payment you will get. Rachel has already credited the 1,500 guild silver to your guild to use at your discretion. So you can add that now, Rez, since you were the one keeping track of that.
We now have 3,100 guild silver, guys.
You might want to recalculate that. You have 4,100.
Wait, 4,100? I just...
Yeah, you were at
26.
You were at 26.
15. Yep, you're right. Yeah. My bad. I swear,
also,
guys, I can't do math. It's an off day.
And I believe you were also promised a amount of gold for each of you. He pulls out a small chest and begins counting out pulls out some sacks. Roll just anyone who wants, just roll a persuasion check for me. This is a part of like you giving the story of how everything happened.
I think that's gonna be Dustu, and I think me giving the occasional bit of information is me helping out.
Yeah. Okay. Given how everything shook out, it seems like this job was a bit beyond what we originally expected it was going to be. So, I don't have a problem giving you a little bit extra. And he gives a bag of 700 gold for each of you, as well as another 700 gold that would have been Derlin's payment. I'll allow you to see this to go wherever you think he would find it appropriate.
I feel like we should give Aroma some of it if she wants it.
They.
And I also feel like... oh, sorry. We have a new recruit. I guess you could say.
You could have given the details of Aroma joining you guys.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
During the
Yeah.
summary.
Also, we have a friend asking for a small favor. A friend of ours would like to meet you, if that's okay.
He
Now?
also works for the Kettles.
Yeah, he's also part of a guild.
Well, yeah, before we get into that, if your friend's here now, I can meet him once we're done with this, but before that, I know I had a list of other jobs for you, and I'm sure you want to spend some time in the capital before leaving on something else. But I might have something different than originally planned that you would be helpful for. Something that might let you get a little bit more rest. A week from today, Ciel is going to be leaving for the Amber Peak Summit, a meeting of the heads of all of the different coalitions over in Ironwill. It is customary as part of this that a team of 5 guards of guildsmen are sent with her, as a largely ceremonial role. I have a team that I usually send with her, but they're unavailable this year. Some personal matters got in the way for them, and they're not going to be able to go. I was looking into potential replacements, but Ciel requested members from your guild specifically, if possible.
Can someone remind me of who CL is?
I'm
sorry, I'm
is
blanking.
the head of the legislative branch of World Forge.
Okay.
She's... well, for one, she's the one that originally signed off on the original 3 becoming guildsmen. But
Okay.
yeah, she's basically one of World Forge's leaders.
Okay.
She's the specifically because you guys have met her once before.
Yeah, it
she's-
sounded familiar.
Yeah, she was the fall Eladrin that came to your guild before you guys went on your advancement exam because she had signed off on it.
Right.
She'd like a team of 5 from your guild specifically. If the 3 of you are interested, and if you have 2 others that you could recruit, it wouldn't be. You'd have some time. It wouldn't be till next Friday would be when she's leaving. So you'd have a week to do any jobs you want in the meantime or rest. If you do take a job, I ask try not to go too far from the capital. No place that you couldn't get back within a day's notice, if need be. So, just generally map-wise, like, no place further than, say, like, Cold Marsh. Or even... Oh, where the hell did Highgate? Why is that name missing? Are you interested by any chance?
Dusty kind of goes quiet when you say Iron Will Coalition, and his eyes kind of, like, narrow.
It would be not fully necessary, but it would be helpful to have a local there.
Yeah, you know, they don't really like me up there, or at least a few people aren't too fond of me because of, he points to his bagpipes and, like, does a little, like, light cantrip. They're not that fond of, me doing what I do, if you know what I mean.
Well, that may be the case, but while you're there as a member of Madame Ciel's elite guards, they would not have any option but to show you respect.
I do get to visit Bagel again, and I'm sure he's doing fine.
There is one other elephant in the room regarding this. And he looks at you, Rose. If you are willing to do this, he will be there.
I'm aware.
And believe you me, I am
I'm aware I'm not
agreement
going
with
to
what
be
you
able
would
to.
want to do. There's a reason why CL goes and not me anymore. Last time I saw him, oh boy, almost caused a war, beat him within an inch of his life. Good times and bad times for varying reasons. That's why I don't get to
I
go
wish
anymore.
I could have been there. But
I know
yes, I will keep my blades sheathed, at least when it comes to him.
Yeah, but if he attacks
you.
CL in any way, we could kick his ass. I don't know who you're
if
talking about.
he attacks CL, all
Kill him?
all bets
Kill
are
him?
off. I think
Okay.
he'd know better than that. But if he does, and if he does anything that would constitute really anything that would be a declaration of war, all bets are off. We just can't be the ones to start the war.
Oh, shit.
In fact, if you can get him to start a war, that would make my life so much easier. We just can't be the aggressors.
Dusty's gonna write that down in his notebook. Be like,
Ruz kind of lets out a sigh, but actually doesn't really put up much of a fuss.
If we are the aggressors, Iron will take his side. We could probably take Blackheart. We could not take Blackheart and Iron Will. Currently, I'd prefer to not have to do either until we have the Cult and Soulvale war under control. But if we had to, we could probably handle Blackheart.
there's a war in Soulville right now?
Yes.
The Elven kingdom.
Yes.
basically.
The High Elves basically have the large portion of the Wood Elven population hostage.
Yes.
And there's been a stagnation at the front lines as neither is able to really gain or lose any territory right now. If you're willing to take the job, you will need some fancier attire, but World Forge, the government will, of course, pay for any new outfits you need to have made. You can talk to Rachel when you leave to get that payment organized, and she can direct you towards any local tailors that could help with that endeavor. But beyond that, if you can just send word before the... Just make sure you're here by, say... Make sure you're here by, say, Wednesday or Thursday. So we can go over the exact etiquette and such. CL will no doubt give you most of the information on the commute. But just to give some general details to anyone you're going to be bringing, and so that I can know who to account for.
That
Do you have
sounds.
Anyone in mind that might be your +2 on this?
I
They're
think
right
we
outside.
yeah, they're out there, and one of those two is the guy who wants to meet you.
Excellent. This makes things easier then. Well, either way, we'll meet them.
Okay. All right. Cool. Do you want them to come in here, or you want to?
I need to head out to get some work done anyway, so I'll meet you guys out there. I'll follow you.
Okay. Astute opens the door and gives a little nod to Barbas.
He's a little distracted right now. He's lost in thought.
As you guys walk out the door of Harkin, Aroma would technically spot him first, although they are probably also a bit lost in thought. You see a gentleman, kind of dirty blonde hair that's kind of curly and messed up. He wears kind of this heavy kind of forest green coat that's kind of like a duster. And a kind of perpetual ash stains around his face and neck from working the forge. But a slightly more slender build than would be expected of a normal craftsman. He steps out. I take it these are the two?
Yes.
Do what?
I'm sorry, what? He turns like, and he comes over. Mr. Harkin, it's a pleasure.
Likewise, I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage here.
Yes, he extends him. I'm Barbas Stahlheim. I'm a fellow craftsman, if you will.
Barbas, good to meet you. He shakes your hand. Firm handshake.
Yeah, likewise. I'm just an admirer of your work. Really. I've seen it in action as well.
Good to know. He wouldn't happen to be originally from Solvale, are you?
No, I'm from Sprinlocks. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure exactly where I'm from, but Sprinlocks is where I was raised.
That's fast. That's fine. I was just curious. It would have been one more thing we would have had in common, but
Oh yeah.
I'm natively from Solvale.
Has Barbas traveled? Has he ever been there?
No. I mean, the war has been going on pretty much most of your entire life. Like you were adopted, and then the war happened a few years after that. So it's generally not been safe for you to visit.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
That's
it's not just wood elves and high elves that live there. There were humans there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, given the present times, I haven't really had the chance to go there.
I've not been able to visit my home in quite some time either. With luck, maybe I'll
You know.
be able to go back someday, but not.
We can only
presently.
Insight check.
Yes. What do I owe the pleasure?
Roll an insight check. As he continues talking to you. Well, I have a job that's for your friends here that requires an additional 2 in about a week's time. And they recommended you for it. Are you willing? It would be in about a week's time. CL, one of the other heads of the coalition, is going to be heading to Ironwill for the Amber Peak Summit, a meeting of the different coalition heads. It is customary for 5 guards to be sent alongside her. And this year she specifically requested people from the Kettles Guild.
Well, it is your lucky day. I'll gladly take that up. My steel will be ready.
Well, you can be a little calm with the steel. There shouldn't be any actual combat. The role is largely ceremonial. What will be matter more is your etiquette while you're there.
That I can certainly also get ready.
Very well. And he looks at Roma. Is this, are they one of the other individuals you are going to be bringing along for this job?
Yes. If they want.
Roma?
You hadn't addressed them. We don't know what's going on, but sure. You said etiquette. We will need a list of rules and etiquette to learn.
We'll go
But
over
yeah.
that in time. Largely just be sure not to start any fights or offend anyone. Your
You'll
job
be
is
members from-
Roma might be a very valuable person to come along with us in that case.
your job while you're there will essentially be to accompany CL to any and all endeavors she goes for. You will be given sleeping chambers alongside hers. And one, keep her alive, but that shouldn't be much of a worry. Largely, your job is to look impressive.
Roma stands up on their tail and does like a whole show, like a, I don't know, a cool pose to look impressive.
You don't monk shit.
Yeah. They dab.
Very impressive.
There'll
I'm
be
sure you'll do
members
fine.
from all the coalitions there, I assume.
Well, there will be the largest presence you will find is going to be of Ironwill, but the heads of each coalition will be present with their own royal guards, a team of 5 for each of them as well. And you will be present for some political talks. You will be trusted to make sure that anything that is said in private rooms remains in private rooms. And that will be the gist of the job. You may interact here and there with the other guards and potentially even some of the government heads, but there shouldn't be much in the way of problems. And for this, given the circumstances and the suddenness of this request, you will be paid double the usual rate of gold and 2,000 guild silver.
What can we buy with 2,000 guild silver, Dan?
Well, you guys have the list.
Oh, yes, we do. Special entertainment.
It's there as an option. Doesn't mean I want you to take it. It's just there as an
Oh,
option.
okay. Interesting.
Well, if that is all, I have business to take care of. If you don't have any pressing questions.
No, I think I'm well informed.
Well, I will see you all back here by, ideally, at least next Thursday. I'll go over some of the general information you'll have to know. And then you will leave with CL on Friday morning. In the meantime, you're free to do as you will. Rachel, if you could instruct them on some nearby tailors to get them proper outfits for it. And then when they decide where they want to go, send the payment information along. Yes, sir. Right away. I'll be back in a few hours. I have to go to that meeting.
Oh, yes, I don't want to keep you any longer.
Till we meet again. He heads out the door.
Barbas will immediately, as that door closes, let out a big sigh.
Did I get anything on my insight check, inciting him on saying that he wanted to go back to that place?
Yeah. So with a 24, there's a general kind of like list full of like, you know, my homeland's kind of in the shit right now, and I'd like to see it as I did when I was a kid again, for sure. But there's also a sense of wanting not to go back to a place, but to a person. Like there's someone that was left there that he misses. You don't know to what relationship that is per se, but just definitely there's more of a personal connection there that he is worried for.
Does he have a secret love child?
That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Possibly. Or maybe he has a parent or sibling there that he misses.
He's All Might's secret love child, isn't he?
I mean, Harkin is not elven by any stretch of the imagination. He's human, so you don't think it would be Barbas if it is a secret love child, but you never know.
Well, I mean,
He
we
might
don't
just
know.
hide it well.
Yeah. I thought Hurricane was Asimar.
He's not Azamar. He is technically
Kalishtar.
above
Oh,
game.
wait.
He's Kalishtar, but Kalishtar in this world appear as any other race, and his race happens to be human for that instance.
I didn't even know he was Kalishtar.
Yeah, that's some above game meta knowledge.
Sorry, I forget sometimes, but I
Yeah, that's fine.
don't know.
That's okay. I'll forget.
But as he leaves, Rachel kind of looks at you guys. So I take it you're going to need some recommendations for a tailor then?
Not my strong suit, so yes.
She flips through her notes real quick. There are two local clothing shops that you could go to. One's been here a while. It's called A Stitch Above. And she gives you the general location of where it is. Owned by a Eric Hawker named Lalic Brightfeather. Nice gentleman, a bit snooty, but it's not bad. One's a bit newer. Opened just a couple weeks ago. Let me... let's see. The name is... There is nothing as dull as safe, you hideous fool. Now get out of my building. That's the name.
Interesting.
Owned by Reld Pig Stitcher.
Right. There is nothing. There is nothing as dull as safe, you hideous fool. Now get out of my building.
That's the name.
Right. There is nothing. There is nothing as dull as safe, you hideous fool. Now get out of my building. That's dull in the safe, you fool. Get out of my face already.
There's nothing as dull as safe. You hideous fool, now get out of my building.
Okay. There's nothing. Oh, come on, phone, work. Okay.
They're a bit more eccentric if you're looking for something unique. You can go to either. If just I can send the payment information, or you can have them send for me, and have that taken care of. Whichever you choose to go to.
Who's the owner?
Reld Pigstitcher. Something else that might be of interest to you. A magic shop recently opened up in the capital. It is Elettri's Artifice. Like Artifice, but with an E in front of it? I don't know. It's weird.
Artifice.
Yeah. Run by an Eltri Runehorn. Recently opened up. I figured it might be something you want to check out, maybe? Your adventurous types might be something of interest to you. But if you just have the clothing shop forward the payment to me, I'll have it taken care of. Is there anything else you need?
I don't have any questions for you, Rachel, no.
I'm sorry, I'm in a lot of ear pain right now, so I'm fading pretty fast.
It's okay. We can end here if you guys want to, or if you want to do the shopping and then end after that.
I like to end it here. I'm also kind of reaching my limit.
I need to like make food, so I'd also prefer to end it here.
Yeah. Let's end it here then.
Right,
Stop the
before we
recording.
leave, though, Aroma tears out the page of their book that they drew and puts it on Rachel's desk.
Okay. Kind of smiles a little bit at it, like, oh, that's very cute.